Hello, welcome back to Lori's Kitchen. Today we're making cheesecake in the Instant Pot. This is the famous New York cheesecake number 17 recipe. It comes out perfect every time and it's really not that hard to use. I used to try to do cheesecakes in the oven and I just was always scared to do it. I feel so much more confident in the Instant Pot. I hope you will too. So let me show you what it looks like. I made a raspberry glaze to go with this. I just used some jam that I had on hand. And I'll show you how to do that in this video. So come along with me and let's make some New York cheesecake number 17 in the Instant Pot together. Let's take a look at the ingredients needed to make this recipe. First, you're going to need a 7-inch springform pan. I bought this one on Amazon and I'll put the link in my description below if you're interested in getting one. But I like the one with the full removable bottom and the clip on the side. It just seems to have a tighter fit. So make sure you have a 7-inch springform pan. You'll need about 1 cup or 120 grams of graham cracker crumbs, 3 to 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, melted, that's about 42 to 56 grams, a few pinches of sea salt, I'm using Himalayan sea salt. You're going to need about 2 teaspoons to 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar, depending on how sweet you like it, that's about 8 to 19 grams. 16 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese, or 2 blocks of it, 2 large eggs at room temperature, 2/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar, or 133 grams, half a cup, or 120 grams of sour cream at room temperature, 2 tablespoons, or 16 grams of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and some heavy-duty oil, and some parchment paper to line the inside of the pan. To help make a water barrier, I'm taking a piece of the heavy-duty foil, cutting a circle around the pan, and it's leaving about a 2-inch overlap that I could fold up and help keep the water out of the bottom of the pan. I then cut some parchment paper, and I'm going to line the inside of the pan and the sides of the pan too. To make the crust, we're going to combine the graham cracker crumbs, the sugar, melted butter, and the pinch of sea salt. Stir it with a fork or a whisk. As you can see, I was having a little bit of a hard time mixing it here. It didn't seem like it wanted to blend very well, so I went ahead and I took out my chopper and I used this to sort of grind it together. I actually used the chop function, so I wasn't making the graham crackers any finer. Now I'm going to pour that mixture into the pan. I have clean hands, and I'm going ahead and spreading out the graham crackers to make a crust. You want it to go about no more than 2/3 up the side of the pan. So first I spread them out evenly, then I'm going to take one of my measuring cups to help compact it into the pan and against the edges of the pan. Because the butter has been very thoroughly dispersed, it's making the crust stick together a little better. As you're doing this, you'll see sometimes you bump the sides and the side comes down and you got to fix it. So just keep going around and pushing firmly against the edges of the pan, the bottom of the pan, and the sides to make a nice crust. Once it's done, I'm going to chill it in the fridge while I'm making my filling. Mix the 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, the 2 pinches of sea salt, and the white sugar together in a small mixing bowl. Make sure it's thoroughly blended. In a medium mixing bowl, you want to take your hand mixer and your 2 blocks of cream cheese and just break it up with the mixer for about 10 seconds on low speed. After that's done, add in half the sugar mixture and beat just till it's incorporated using the low speed, about 20 to 30 seconds. Make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl in between mixes because you want to make sure that all the ingredients are thoroughly incorporated. Add in the remaining sugar and beat just till incorporated, another 20 to 30 seconds. Now we're going to add in the half a cup of sour cream and the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then again, we're only going to beat it on low for about 20 to 30 seconds. The reason why we're trying to only beat it on low and very briefly is we want this cheesecake to be a little bit dense, and we don't want to put too much air into it. Now we're going to add in the eggs one at a time and just briefly mix it lightly just to incorporate the egg. After the first one's incorporated, scrape down the sides again and add in the second egg. This is what your batter should look like when it's all ready to go. Now we're going to take our cheesecake pan out of the refrigerator and pour in our filling. This is a really important step here. You're going to try to tap out all the air bubbles and also use a toothpick to pop the air bubbles that do come up. You're trying to make the top look as perfect and pretty as possible. The cheesecake is ready to go. We're going to make a foil sling to lower this and raise it out of the Instant Pot. So take an 18-inch piece of foil, fold it in half and in half again, and now you'll see you put your cheesecake in the middle and it's easy to raise it and lower it into the Instant Pot. Make sure your stainless steel insert is in your Instant Pot and set the trivet inside. We're now going to get a cup to a cup and a half of water and put it at the bottom of the pan. We're going to put the Instant Pot on manual pressure for 28 minutes on high, and what we're going to do is let the water boil. Once the water boils, we're going to insert the cheesecake into the pan. While I'm waiting for my water to boil, I'm ensuring that my sweet ring that I use for sweet items, I use a green one, is inserted properly into the lid. Once I see that boil start, I need to quickly and carefully lower my cheesecake into the pan using my sling. We want to fold down the sides backwards so the water doesn't drip on the cake and get the lid on immediately. Ensure the valve is set to sealing, not venting. It should only take the Instant Pot about a minute to get to pressure because we started boiling it earlier. So after it cooks for the full 28 minutes, you're going to let it do a natural pressure release, and you'll know when the full natural pressure release is done because the pin will drop. Then carefully remove the lid, trying to avoid getting any more condensation on top of the cheesecake. And carefully use some mittens and take your cheesecake out with the sling. Absorb any condensation on the surface of the cheesecake by lightly tapping it with a soft paper towel. You just want to blot up any pockets of moisture that you might see sitting on top of your cheesecake as it cools. Then we're going to move on to remove the foil layer that we added to the bottom of our pan for the cooking process. Now that we've finished cooking the cake, we want to take that off, make sure we get any moisture out of there, and just let the cheesecake cool to room temperature on a rack. Take a straight edge knife and carefully push against the sides of the pan, ensuring that you're going to be able to release the pan from the edges. And you can see, remove the parchment paper, blot off any more moisture off the top, and there's your cheesecake. Let's move on to the raspberry topping. So I just am using some raspberry preserves, and I put in a tablespoon of lemon juice, and I did put in a couple tablespoons of water. So now I'm going to reduce it down a little bit and then get it to the thickness that you like. And there you have it, Instant Pot New York Cheesecake number 17. If you enjoyed this recipe, please give my video a thumbs up and comment down below. If you would like to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell to be informed when my next video is available. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.